Alright, Shalom. First of all, I'm going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this lesson is going to be based on this atmospheric river that drenched California and resulted in a couple of deaths. So through the Spirit, I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will you're edified. It says, child among 7 dead after atmospheric river storm drenches California. Lingering thunderstorms pose risk of mudslides in areas around Los Angeles recently ravaged by wildfires. This is a powerful atmospheric river weather system has mostly moved through California, but not before causing at least 7 deaths and dousing much of the state. Among the dead was a 7-year-old girl who was swept into the ocean by waves estimated up to 20 feet at a state beach on Friday. The girl's father, 39-year-old Eugene Hugh of Calgary, Alberta, was killed while trying to save her. In Northern California, in Sutter County, north of Sacramento, a 71-year-old man died after his vehicle was swept off a flooded bridge. Much further south, a wooden boat believed to have been ferrying migrants toward the U.S. from Mexico capsized in stormy seas off the coast of San Diego, leaving at least 4 people dead and 4 hospitalized. The long plume of tropical moisture that formed over the Pacific Ocean began drenching the San Francisco Bay Area last Wednesday night and then unleashed widespread rain over Southern California on Friday and Saturday. Downtown LA saw more rain than any previous November, breaking a record previously set in 1985, the Los Angeles Times reported. On Monday, lingering thunderstorms continued to pose a risk of mudslides in areas of Los Angeles County that were recently ravaged by wildfire. So due to the abundant rainfall the past couple of days, it will not take as much rainfall to cause additional flooding, rock slide conditions, the National Weather Service said in a Sunday update. The agency advised the region on Monday to be prepared for a soggy day. Rain was expected to continue through Tuesday, the Weather Service said, while another storm was forecast to arrive on Thursday. Southeast of Los Angeles, there was flooding in the Palm Springs area and road closures throughout the desert area of the Coachella Valley. More than 4 inches of rain fell over coastal Santa Barbara County as the storm approached Los Angeles. Parts of the Sierra Nevada received more than a foot of snow. Amid the climate crisis, warming oceans are supercharging such atmospheric river storms, making them deadlier and costlier. Atmospheric rivers have long been important features of weather systems across the U.S. West and are vital to replenishing the state's reservoirs and snowpack. But filled with enough moisture to rival the flow at the mouth of the Mississippi, and often many times more, the stronger systems that carry water across the Pacific also often cause the most destructive floods. So it's a two-edged sword. They need that torrential rainfall to refill the reservoirs and things like that. The rain could also lead to deadly flash floods and mudslides and rock slides. So the very thing that can help you is the very same thing that can kill you. And that's why we say that the Lord deals with balance. 2 Timothy 3:1, this know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And that's right. You look up the definition of perilous and it means full of danger or risk. And these storms and tempests are getting a lot more powerful, a lot more intense, a lot more destructive, a lot more deadly, because we're living in the last days. And the same thing goes with the earthquakes and the wildfires. They're happening a lot more frequently. They're lasting longer. They're becoming more destructive. And this is all the judgment of the Lord. Isaiah 29:6. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh. Salakia. Thou shalt be visited of the Lord Yahweh of hosts with thunder, and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and the flame of devouring fire. And California, in particular, has been getting hit with all of it. Has been getting hit with the earthquakes, with the storms and tempests, and the fires. And that's just the judgment of the Heavenly Father upon that wicked place. Isaiah 28:2. Behold, the Lord hath a mighty and strong one, which has a tempest of hail and a destroying storm, as a flood of mighty waters, overflowing shall cast down to the earth with the hand. And California has been experiencing that. Destructive storms, power lines getting snapped, trees falling over onto the road, onto people's cars, onto people's homes. People have been killed as a result of the floods. Roads have gotten shut down. Homes have gotten flooded. And like I said, this is all the power of the Heavenly Father being put on display. Psalms 11:6. Upon the wicked he shall rain snares, fire and brimstone, and in horrible tempest. This shall be the portion of their cup. And when you look up the definition of tempest, it means a violent windy storm, such as hurricanes or tornadoes in particular. But it can also just be some powerful winds. It can be a regular storm, just with some high winds that could tear the roof off of a home. That could knock over some trees. That in itself is still a horrible tempest. But on the more extreme end is where the tornadoes and the hurricanes come into play. Slovakia. Psalms 83:14. As the fire burneth a wood, and as the flame setteth the mountains on fire. Verse 15. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. And clearly that's what the Heavenly Father is doing. He's unleashing his storms and tempests upon these different countries, upon these different islands, with the torrential rains, with the lightning, with the powerful, destructive winds, to make these people afraid, to punish them. to bring judgment and destruction upon them because they're wicked. And the Heavenly Father is angry with the wicked every day. Psalm 7 and 11. Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. And you know who the wicked is in the form of who the Lord is bringing these type of judgments upon. The people getting wounded and killed when the Lord unleashes these storms and tempests and these fires and these earthquakes. Those are the people that the Lord is angry with. Those are the people that the Lord is targeting. Psalms 9:16. The Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands. Higgaion Selah. Yeah, so these storms and tempests are the judgments of the Heavenly Father. And he unleashes them upon whomever he wants. And he causes as much destruction and as many injuries and as much death as he wants. And there is nobody who can stop him from doing that. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So like, yeah, and these powerful storms and tempests are proof of that. Proof that the Lord kills and wounds. Because with this most recent storm that parts of California experienced, people did get killed and people did get wounded. And for those people who died, there was nothing that could have been done to save them because it was the will of the Heavenly Father for them to die. First Samuel 2:6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And that's right. So for all the deaths that take place across the world for various reasons, that is the Heavenly Father that is ultimately killing these people. Whether it's suicides, whether it's car crashes, plane crashes, whether someone dies from drowning, whether they die from a disease, whether they die from getting shot, getting stabbed, getting torn apart by some wild animal, whether they die in a fire or in an earthquake, the Lord ultimately killed them. He put them in that position so that judgment could be brought upon them. Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that nobody has ever perished being innocent, nor were the righteous ever cut off. Because like it says in Romans 2:11, there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. So the Heavenly Father, he doesn't care how old someone is, how young someone is. He doesn't care what your gender is. He doesn't care what your ethnicity is. He doesn't care what your financial status is. at the end of the day, if the Heavenly Father deems you to be wicked, then you're going to get judged in whatever manner the Heavenly Father sees fit to execute that judgment. Verse 8, even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. And that's where all the judgment comes into play. These wicked people with whom the Heavenly Father is angry with every day are reaping what they've sown in the form of judgments being brought upon them. And that's what's going to continue to happen. These wicked men, these wicked women, and these wicked children Salakia, are going to continue to be punished by the Lord. Ecclesiastes 3:1. To everything there is a season and a time to repurpose under the heaven. Verse 2, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. And for a lot of people, we are in the time where they're going to die. These wicked men, these wicked women, and these wicked children. We are in the time and season where the wrath and the vengeance and the fury and the judgment of the Heavenly Father is going to be brought upon these people. Isaiah 48:22. There is no peace, saith the Lord Yahweh, unto the wicked. And that's right. And that's why these judgments are intensifying. That's why the frequency of these storms and tempests and fires and earthquakes and other judgments are happening so much more. Because there is no peace unto these wicked people. The Lord is angry with the wicked every day. So every day judgment is going to be brought upon these wicked people. It's not going to stop until the kingdom of heaven gets established. And even then, these wicked people are still going to, be punished. They're just going to be punished in a different way in the kingdom. Like in the kingdom, these heathens, these heathen nations outside of the nation of Edom, the so-called self-proclaimed white people, these other nations, they're going to get their land back. But the nation of Edom is going to be erased. And while these other nations are going to get their land back, they're still going to have to serve the men of the Lord. They're still going to have to serve the Israelites. And if they step out of line, they're going to get punished accordingly. But on this side, these wicked people, the Lord is going to continue to visit them. Because we're living in the last days, and we are living in the days of vengeance. So for all the wicked men, women, and children all over the world whom the Lord is angry with, they're going to continue to be punished. And those punishments are going to get a lot worse, a lot more severe, and a lot deadlier as we get further and further into these last days. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. I'm closing on to give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim Rakakudash, the Wadi Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to our brothers who are firmly pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you all stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up. Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, shalom.